What's up, guys? Mr. V here. Welcome to another live stream. Today's topic is should you pay for your kids' tuition? So I appreciate you guys joining me today. I'm just trying to get my mic working here. Um, so should you pay for your kids' tuition? There's a lot of school of thoughts out there that people talk about college tuition, and it's excuse me, guys, if I can get my microphone working here. Okay, there we go. So people have different concept about paying for your kids' college tuition. Some people say you're required to pay for your kids' college tuition, and others say you're not required. And so it's really difficult to find a balance. Paying for your kids' college tuition, and especially here in the United States, the price of college tuition just keeps going up and up. And so far, that number hasn't stopped increasing. It looks like it's going to keep going up. So, my take on paying for your kids' college tuition is that you don't have to save money and put it on the side just for your kids' college tuition. Focus on yourself. Put money in your investment and make as much as you can. And if down the road you have excess money when you retire and your kids go to college and graduate and you have that excess money, you can write them a check as a graduation present or just write them a check whenever it works for you to do it. So to me, that is the route that I would go as opposed to just right off the bat, you don't even have money in your retirement and all you care about is if your kid is going to go to college. And here's where I'm coming from with this. It's a little bit tricky because um, the number one, America is the best country in the world, in my opinion. So if a kid that is born here in America cannot get college education, then there is a problem, a much bigger problem than anyone would imagine. So I would encourage people to take a step back because if you follow, I think Dave Ramsey says this too, or one of the baby steps, save for your kids' college tuition. It sounds really good. It sounds like, oh wow, you are such a wonderful parent. But when should you do that? Do you have the money? Do you have enough in your own retirement? Because you can take that money and pay for your kids' college tuition. And I mean, a kid goes to college, no disrespect, and go study something like, history or some um, crazy foreign language that at the end of the day, either they're not making enough money or they can't even find a job. And then if you're hoping that they can take care of you when you're old, they don't have a job. What does that translate to? That simply means that you're not going to have somebody to even help you or assist you when you retire. And so that vicious cycle of being in debt would continue in your family. So, yeah, so that's my take. And for the most part, I know that's a very, very unpopular position to be because, obviously people think that, you paying for your kids' college tuition is the right thing to do. I would do it, but I'm not going to save money specifically to pay for my kids' college tuition. If they go to school and graduate with good degrees and I have the money, I can write them a check, go in my investment account and give them some money to pay off that loan if I have it. But if I don't have enough for retirement, there's no way I'm even thinking about it because they have much more time to figure out what works for them or figure out things for themselves as opposed to me that is fast approaching retirement. And can you imagine you retire and you don't have enough money to take care of yourself, and God forbid your kid can't even find a job and they have to move back in with you. So it's it's a very difficult situation. And so, I don't know what a lot of people think. So if you're listening to this and you think otherwise, what's your take when it comes to paying for college tuition? Do you think that you should pay for your kids? It's your obligation to pay for your kids' college tuition, or do you think that you're not obligated to pay for your kids' college tuition. So let me know in the comment section. I'm gonna try to adjust my mic here. I'm having problems. Yeah, sorry guys. Let's try to get this working. I need to get a better setup for my live stream. All right, hopefully that's better. Yeah, so yeah, it's catch 22. Life says that hey, help as much as you can, put money on the side for kids to go to college, but at the same time they say you have to save enough money so you can retire and not depend on the system. So which one should you put money in first? And I'll say put money on yourself first, because at the end of the day, your kids have a longer time to figure out things for themselves. And you don't have that time. You're running out of time. So focus on yourself. Make sure that you're ready for retirement, because you don't want to be the parent that retires and they're moving with your kid. Yeah, you don't want to be that parent. So be very careful when this whole concept of, do you want to pay for your kids to go to college upfront, save money, and not put money in your retirement account because you're putting money in your kids' college tuition. So yeah, my personal conviction is that you should focus on you, save money for retirement, make sure that you have yourself covered, because you don't have the same amount of time that your kid has to kind of figure things out. So if you are, are already out there approaching retirement, or even let's say even in your mid 40s, 50s, you are already like halfway into your journey of life. And so your kid is probably 17, 18, they have a longer way to figure things out. So you can give them money to pay for their college tuition when they graduate, and you see that you have enough money to actually help them out. You can write them a check. Again, like I said, it's one of those things where you look at the situation like, okay, my kid has gone to college, graduated, and they did really good, and I have money that I can help them out to pay off that student loan. And the reason why I don't want to write that check up front, in my personal opinion, is because when you allow somebody to earn or work hard for something, they appreciate it more than when you just write them a check. So you make them take student loans, right? And again, you can take student loans, go to college, graduate. You have 6 months of grace period before they start accumulating interest. So if you're the parent and you think you want to help them, you teach them the lesson that hey, nothing is free. They can go to college. They have to pay for it. It costs money, a lot of money to go to college. Then you tell them like, hey, when you get out of college, what you need to do is find a job that needs to be able to make you cover all your expenses. At the same time, you should be able to pay off your debt. And then when you instill that mindset in your kids, in my opinion, that's something that would help them for the rest of their life, as opposed to just saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna write you a check, you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, if you're a millionaire and you just want to do it, that's good. But if you are just like an average person, like a lot of people are, a lot of us are, then you should be very careful with what kind of message you're sending home, because it's your obligation to take care of your kid. But when they turn 18, what happens? They consider themselves mature adult, and they consider themselves they can make their own decision. At 18 years old, you can join the military. So you've decided like, hey, I want to, I want to support the troops. I want to be part of this whole movement that protects this country. So you can be that person. That's cool. But you can make that decision. But then when it comes to paying for your college tuition, you turn around and you're expecting your parents to do that for you. Again, I didn't say this was a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to pay for your kids' college tuition. But the message that comes with paying for your kids' college tuition should be clear. You should be able to tell your kids up front, let them know that, hey, this is on you. I'm not going to pay for it because you are paying for your own college tuition. It's your responsibility. It's your education. It's not mine. And then once they graduate, you can surprise them if you have the money. Again, if you have the money, I don't want you to be scraping around trying to find money and put in your investment accounts or for your retirement account. But your whole concept is like, oh, I want to pay for my kids' college tuition. It just isn't making any sense. So yeah, if you're out there listening, I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about paying for your kids' college tuition? Do you think that it's your obligation to pay for your kids' college tuition? And if you don't pay for your kids' college tuition, does that make you a failure as a parent? Does that make you not a responsible parent? Because I mean, there's a lot of stigma out there for parents that come out and say, I don't want to pay, and they make you look like, you're really not a responsible parent. So what's you guys' take on this whole idea? And so, and even for most people, when your kid graduate college, get a job, the one thing that I see that's super important um, is that when they get a job that they can actually make good money, they can make those payments. Um, yeah, you can take a step back again. Don't give them that money, in my opinion. Maybe put it somewhere in a trust or something that they can have someday. Um, in that way, they're gonna work so hard. Because think about it, for a lot of you guys out there, you probably, I don't know how many of you didn't pay for your college, but if you paid for your college um, and you were able to do it, why would you think that your kid cannot do it? Are you saying that you didn't raise your kid to be a fighter? You didn't raise you didn't raise your kid to be somebody that hustles and knows what they want out there in life? If you did, so why should you panic that your kid cannot pay for their own college tuition? And the other thing too that I just thought about it too is most people send their kids to specific colleges, maybe because that's where they went to college, or maybe that's where the kid wanted to go. So you look at your kids in high school, they have friends, everybody, or my dad is sending me to XY school, and you're sitting there, and then your kid comes and tell like, hey dad, I want to go to this school, and they're hoping that you're gonna pay for it. And sometimes it's not even a conversation. It's more like, hey, I want to go to the school. And so dad, you and mom should, make sure that I go to this school because that's the school that I want to go to. And then that's where you can take a step back, have a conversation with your kid, because if you want to go to a particular school, you expect me to pay, which I know for sure it's a very expensive school. Yeah, tell them straight up, I cannot afford that. You can go the route of maybe start at a community college and then transfer to a 4-year university and only spend 2 years there, and so you don't pay that ridiculous amount of money. But most kids want to follow their friends because that's where, if everybody's going to one school, that's where they want to go. If your kids are smart and or more athletes and they can get scholarships, oh, that's even better. So that way, you really don't have a say. Yeah, you can advise them on how to look at the best option that they want to go and advise them on what to go study. But if they have, the ability to get scholarships, yes, that's even good for you guys, because at the end of the day, you're not going to have to worry about anything. It's just going to be the college tuition is going to be paid for. So again, if you're just joining in, the conversation today is, should you pay for your kids' college tuition? And if you don't, do you think that you would be looked upon as a bad parent for not paying for your kids' college tuition? So if you're listening, I want to hear in the live chat section there. So just let me know what you guys think. What's your take on this whole notion? And so, yeah, right now for us, we're not putting money specifically for our kids' college tuition. We're putting money on the side, investing, and if down the road, our kids graduate college and we have enough money for retirement and extra that we can help them, yeah, we'll give them a boost to start their life. But if not, like I said, this is the greatest country in the world, and yeah, you should be able to figure things out. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. So yeah, if you're listening, please let me know in the comment section or the live chat section what you think about this conversation. Yeah, today has been a little bit quiet. I haven't had any questions yet, which is a little bit abnormal. Usually by this time I get a lot of questions. So I hope this is not like one of those what you call a very sensitive topic. I didn't think it is, but if it is a sensitive topic, I apologize. So I haven't said this. Appreciate you, man. So my oldest is in college and took on $5,000 in student loan. Next year, she'll live off campus. Should we continue to support her so she doesn't have to take loans next year? That is a very good question. So you thinking about her taking student loans or you supporting her? And so there's two ways. If you have the money, you can approach this in the sense that you can invest that money because okay, first my question would be: are they private loans or federal loans? Which ones are they? Because if they're private, okay, then that's scary. But if they're federal loans, you have a grace period of 6 months after you graduate college. So pretty much you go to oh, there we go. So which means that you go to college for 4 years, graduate with all these loans, and they give you another 6 months. So that's 4 years, 6 months, no interest on those loans. And a lot of people even start paying some of those loans. Uh, um, One is unsubsidized. Okay, so the one that's unsubsidized, that's the one that you can worry about. That's the one you can start paying if you have the money. You should start paying that one off. Because I mean, obviously, unsubsidized means that it's accruing interest already. So yeah, you don't want to let that interest accrue. And if your kid is going to college, and I don't know if they have the option to maybe get a part-time job while in school, that would be another way to teach them. They can pick up a part-time job, and all the money that they make in that part-time job should go towards paying for that loan. You can take care of their room and board if you care, if you have the money, but just let them know that the money that they make should help pay their debt, and it's a good lesson in my opinion. But if it's subsidized, then they have that grace period. Like I said, they have all 4 years and 4 months. So if you have the money, you can invest that money, and then after they graduate college, whatever gains that money has made, you can then use that, write them a check as a graduation present. And trust me, I'm pretty sure if you write them a check at the graduation present as a graduation present, they're gonna be like, "Wow, that's gonna be the most epic graduation present ever that your kid would receive from you." So um, yeah, and okay, then the other thing too that you want to consider, because for me, I'm very practical. If my kid is going to college, and I can tell, like, hey, if you go to college, you're studying again. Like, this is no disrespect to somebody that went to college and studied history. And I'm looking like, hey, if you're studying history in college, that's so cool. You can't go to a college that you spent where we're paying $50,000 a year, and you go study history, because when you get out of that college, 4 years, $50,000 a year, that's $200,000. And last time I checked, you're not going to be making a ton of money when if you study history. So cost-based analysis. Is it wise for you to spend that kind of money to go to a fancy school and study something that is not going to make you a ton of money when you graduate? Or you can go to a community college and learn how to program and graduate with pretty much no loans and make a whole lot of money. And once you start making that money, if you so choose to go study something that you really care, guess what? You can work for somebody. Most employers will pay for you to go back to college. Maybe you can do it. So I think there's so many options. The, the challenge is you actually sitting down and talking to your kids about it, and which I understand at 17, 18, a lot of kids, yeah, all they think about is, they're right in what they're thinking. And if you don't do it, then I hate you, dad. I hate you, mom. You guys don't care. I'm not going to come back to this house and stuff like that. But if you're a practical parent, yeah, before they even get to that age, you should instill in them what needs to happen. Like, hey, This is what I'm thinking. If you have a passion, passion costs money. So first, find something that would give you money, and then use that to go chase your passion. So that's the way I would approach it. So yeah. So Mercedes is like, I hope that kind of answer your question. Yeah, if you're helping them, they have unsubsidized loans. If they can work off campus and make some extra money, that's good. They can start paying off that unsubsidized. But the subsidized ones, you have 4 years and 6 months. That is a lot of time for you to, maybe invest that money, help that money grow, and then you write them a check if they graduate college. And think about it too, which I've seen this. I know a lot of people that went to college and drop out after a year or two. So if you are a parent and you've saved up this money and you pay that tuition up front, and then your kids go to college and drop out after 2 years, I'm like, I don't really like it. I didn't really enjoy it. So what do you do in that sense? So yeah, what do you do in that case? No, Mercedes. Yeah, if you this is more of a conversation. So yeah, so if you pay up front and your kid drop out after 2 years, now you've actually lost the money and the kid didn't even get any education. But if the incentive is that, or you go to college, graduate, I'll give you a graduation present, which is going to be a check for your tuition. Wow, that's an incentive. So if you don't graduate, the first 2 years that you were in college, all that you accrue, that's on you. Yeah, you can take care of it because you didn't follow through. It was a contract. Me and you agreed that if you graduate, I'll write you a check, but you didn't graduate. So what do you expect me to do? And it's not just graduating. I don't want you to go take some, go study something that's not going to make you any. You can't even find a job just because you want to graduate and have me pay for it. So it should be something that makes sense. Um, and the definition of something that makes sense is a little bit relative, but yeah. So that would be my take. Yeah, because I know a lot of parents that are right now struggling with saving for their retirement. And when I talk to them, all this is like, oh yeah, but I'm putting money away from my kids' college tuition, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds mainstream. It sounds really nice. It sounds sexy, but the reality of it is that if you don't save enough for your retirement, guess what's going to happen? You pay for your kids' college tuition, and there you have to move in with them when you retire. Yeah. See, that is not a good place to be. You pay for their college tuition, then you move in with them when you retire because you don't have enough money in your retirement. So I don't want to be that parent. So I would do what I'm supposed to do first, take care of myself, give them the needs that they would require until they get to the point where they can go to college. And then when they go to college, they can take those loans, subsidized loans, and then graduate. If you have the money, pay. If you don't, I'd say, yeah, focus on yourself first because they have enough time to be able to make some other decisions and catch up. So, all right, Mercedes, say what would be a good investment account? Right now, my philosophy is that I follow Warren Buffett's investment advice. I don't do investment in individual stocks because it's so risky. I've tried it. I've tried picking out individual stocks. So you see all these people here on YouTube, they'll tell you like, "Hey, I'll teach you how to day trade and stuff like that." I mean, I've tried it. All I did is I lost some money, and it's not as sexy as they showed you. So instead of me trying to do that, so I invest more in what you call index funds. Again, um, I'm not going to tell you to go buy them or do some research, and if you don't understand it, maybe talk to a professional, um, um a professional money management person, somebody that has a certification per se. Because even though I'll tell you the exact same thing, but the fact that he has a certification and I don't, I'm liable if you make some mistakes. So I'm always very careful with telling people, right? Because I mean, in my family, I tell everybody where I put my money in, and I mean they pretty much do the exact same thing. But because I trust them, I know that, I mean, they're not going to come back and say, oh, I gave them some advice and they lost money. But back to your point, I put money in index funds, because what they do is they try to mirror the market. So, and most of the index funds are balanced. So they have like technology, energy, healthcare. So if one sector is going up, the other sector with balance, the other sector is going down, they'll balance each other. But if you just buy individual stocks, if it goes down, yeah, you watch your money disappear right in front of your face, which is kind of scary. Yeah, so that's where I'll start. Yeah, so yeah, look for yeah, I don't know. Do you have any investment accounts yet? Good question. Do you need a minimum investment? Yes. So yes and no. Yes, in that you have certain funds that need a minimum investment amount, and minimum can be from $200 all the way to, I've seen some that are even like 5 million for you to even get into those funds. So you find the ones that are, in your case, if you're just starting out, I don't know how much you have ready for that, but minimum would be about $200 to $250 to start with, and then and again, and this is the tricky thing. Some of the funds you have what you call an expense ratio on the fund. So expense ratio is the amount that they charge on that fund to provide that fund to you. So when you're looking at where to invest, always check the fund and then look at the expense ratio. If the expense ratio, for me, I always look at some anything under 1%. And usually I even have funds that are like 0.04, 0.05 expense ratio, which is relatively cheap. And those are Vanguard funds that I actually invest in. So I'm just telling you what I do, so you can do some research and see you can what you can do for yourself. And so when you do them, they'll show you the funds and they'll show you the actual amount that you required for to invest in. Like I said, you can find funds that you can go as little as $250 to start. And then as you continue to go up and have more money, the expense ratio in some of those funds will drop because you have more money in there. So, which is kind of cool. So the more money you have in invested in the funds, the less the amount that you have to pay in fees for obvious reasons. So yeah, that's something to consider. Yeah, and this is the one thing too. So what's holding you back for not starting to invest? Is it the money, or you're not sure of where to invest? Because I think I'm actually working on a video to just because like all this stuff I had to learn a lot of this stuff, and I wish I had gotten this knowledge way back, because otherwise I would be in a better financial position than I am right now. Um, because I kept thinking like, oh, I need to pay off, get completely out of debt before you start investing. Um, okay, not sure where to start. Okay, so there you be a prime candidate for the video, the series that I'm working on. I'm working on a series for beginning investing, where I started just understanding the stock market, understanding how to even create an account, and start funding that account with as little money as you can start, say $200 and start. The most important thing is to start. So you'll be a prime candidate for that video. So yeah, I'm gonna try to complete that maybe in the next 2 weeks, because it's gonna be a series. And so I'll walk through every single facet of the investment part. And this is just for somebody like me, um, just an average person, middle class. And I mean, I'm not paying for a professional money manager to do it for me. I'm just doing it, and that is the beauty of the internet, because a lot of things are now uh, available to us. Stuff that you had to go through a specific firm to get it. Now you get on your browser. You have access to millions and millions of funds that you can invest in. So, yeah, you'll be a prime candidate for that series. So, yeah, no, definitely. As soon as that series comes out, I'm really having a hard time with my microphone here today. I don't know why. Just give me a second here. This thing is fighting with me. See if I can get it working again. There you go. Sorry about that. The microphone is causing problems. No, I keep hanging on to it. For some reason, it's not working as I would expect it to. Yeah. So, yeah, investing is something that because if you look at, I don't know if you follow Dave Ramsey at all, and so he says, oh, you have to get completely out of debt before you start investing, um, which is it's for somebody that doesn't really know or that sounds really cool, but I tell people that's the one step that I would say that I don't think it should. I make you make part of investing your debt free strategy. So you can if you create a budget, if you have a monthly budget, all you have to do is include something for investing. So if you say I spend, let's say a monthly budget is $2,000, you know, you can say, okay, I'm going to cut back on entertainment. I'm going to cut back on groceries. See how we can cut back, take the extra money and put it under another category called savings or investing. And then each month, that extra money you put in that investment account, and so you're still on track for for still getting out of debt or why putting money in investment. So yeah, and if you see what has happened the past 2 years in the market, oh, it's been really really good. And imagine that you are not putting anything in there. If you're trying to get out of debt for the next 5 or 6 years, that if it takes you that long to get out of debt and you're not putting anything, you're losing out on all these gains. So it again, it's up to the individual to do the homework and see what's good for them. So hey, if you're just joining us today, video suggest I'm talking about how should you or should you not pay for your kids' college tuition. And what's your take on of people that say they're not going to pay for their kids' college tuition? Do you think they should be vilified for saying that or not? So yeah, and we're just having a great conversation here. We had some questions from Mercedes. Hope I'm saying your name right. Um, yeah, if not, just let me know so I can try to get the right pronunciation. Yeah, so got some questions regarding either paying for your kids um, subsidized loans now, excuse me, unsubsidized loans now, or wait until when they graduate to help them pay for that. So yeah. Oh, cool. Yes, like the car. I love it. See, that's me too, because I go by Mr. V, but my first name is actually Valentine. And so I just tell people like the holiday, like Valentine's Day. So that's how I say. Nice. I like the name. I take a name. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much that is the approach. I'll do work on that video, Mercedes, and as soon as that series comes out, there you can see, and I'll show you exactly what I do. Do you have a budget and everything like that, or no? Did you follow any of or the debt free strategy, or where are you in your debt free journey? I think that would be a good place to start. Where are you in that journey? Yeah, because if you are somewhere along the way and you see that, hey, it's probably going to take me 5 years to get out, to completely get out of debt, then I'll say, yeah, start now and start focusing, instead put some emphasis on investing for retirement, or yeah, because you don't want to miss out on all the gains, because 5 years is a long time to go. So paying off debt but want to invest. I love that. So make investing part of your debt-free strategy. So yeah, that would be a good thing. So if you go back, if you have a budget, and if you don't, I think I'm not sure if I've actually shared the link where you can download the budget sheet that I have, and that would show you the different categories that I have. It's broken down, and savings and investing is one of them. So when your monthly income comes in, you know for sure that, hey, this is how my budget is broken down. Saving and investing has a category. You're not just sitting there waiting until, like, hey, until I pay off all my debt before I can start investing. Nope, make that something that is part of your debt-free strategy. And you can cut back. There's a lot of areas that you can cut back on your budget if you just tweak it. And most of the times, we don't even give ourselves credit. Um, we just think that, oh, I cannot do that. But believe me, there's so much room. If you have a budget, there's so much wiggle room that you can actually cut back on a lot of things. And it's not like cutting back hundreds of dollars. Cut $10 here, $10 there. And next thing you know, there's $50. You just keep moving things around. You find a sweet spot. Next thing you know, so you have like $100, and you can start using to go about doing investing. Uh, investing is intimidating, and that's the point. Um, yeah, I'm sorry that you feel that way, because I used to be in that same shoes, and that's why I said I wish a lot of the things that I know now, I wish I knew them back then. Um, so when we talk about investing, the first thing that comes in somebody's mind is like, "Oh gosh, I gotta go pick all these different stocks and manage them." No, um, like I said, if you invest in index funds, those is just as simple as um, you buy a piece of jewelry and just put it in a box and not worry about it. It's in the box. It's jewelry. You don't worry about it. You come back after 6 months, open it, look it up, and like, oh wow, yeah, my jewelry is still there. Shut it and go. With index funds, you don't have to actively manage them, and you can automate the process. You can say, okay, every month, $100 will leave my account, go to my investment account, and buy this particular index fund, and it will do that for you. So you don't even have to go in there. Initial setup, once you get it up and running, that's it. Every month, all you have to do is that you have $100 in your bank account that would move over to investment account and get invested in those stocks or in those index funds, and you don't have to do anything. For me, I do check mine on a daily basis just because um, I enjoy it, and I love to go in there and just see things. But with index funds, you don't really have to sit there and look at them. If you hear the market all crash today, or things are going bad with index funds, you don't have to panic. They don't get the same volatility that individual stocks has. So you're safe in that space. So I'm gonna do. Wow, I think you just gave me a good idea. I'm gonna do kind of an easy step to follow. Do investing your first, I'll say your first $100. That would be a good video. How to invest your first $100 for retirement. Um, yeah, so I'm not going to tell you to go start looking at trying to pick stocks. No, I'll show you simple index funds, the one that I started with, and like, hey, this is how you go, and next thing you know, you have money in investment. So that I think that's a good idea. Should probably take note of that. I'm gonna do a video how to invest your first $100. So that would, yeah. Perfect. That's a really good idea. I'll do that and post it. Yeah. So I don't want you to feel like, hey, investing is intimidating. It is. But once you see the concept and you follow one step and just invest it like $100, and then you just get the flow, and it's just automate everything. And at the end of the month, you don't have to worry. It just comes in your bank account and go to your investment account and get invested for you. So I'll do that video. And if you have any questions, yeah, definitely, I can actually walk you through what I do and how I got set up. And I'm actually trying to track. I'm trying to get a WordPress website to track, my progress from when I started and how my portfolio has been growing over the years. And I'm gonna try that and put it public so everybody can see it. um, because I mean, to me, it's just like it's something that I wish I knew or I had learned about it way back. Um, but again, it's something that I continue to learn every day. So I don't want to sit here and be I just um, trying to think about the past, what I could have done or not have done. But it's just a matter of me moving forward. So yeah. So do you have just one kid in college then? It is for you. Is it just one kid in college, or you have other kids that are going to college too? For me, my son is 16 months old, and we have another one on the way. I'm pretty sure. From those of you that follow me here on YouTube. Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, so my son is 16 months old, so we still have a long way to go. Uh, what I did with him is I think I've mentioned this too in some of my videos. I open up an account for him, investment account for him, and all the money that he gets from birthdays and stuff, that's his money. It's not my money. So I put that in those investments account, and I'm the custodian. And when he gets to the point where he can manage the money, I'll hand over that to him because it's his money. His birthday money is his, and so um, I'm gonna make sure I try to teach him as he grows, so that when he gets to the point, he should be able to manage it and not cause problems or take your money and not be able to manage it. So that'd be scary. So yeah, we have our number two coming up here in April. So yeah, you know, my wife is she's ready to get done with it already. So yeah, no, that's good. I mean, yeah, and if you guys are, from what you just, we just talked about, you guys are paying if you're supporting your kid in college. Um, oh, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, if you have a kid in college, and you don't have kind of like an investment or retirement account that you have, maybe do you have like a 401k through work and stuff like that, and if yes, um, you, it's not super good enough. It's something that you have to do something about it. Yeah, you definitely need to get an investment account. So wow, I can't even believe it, man. Like we've been hanging out here for a good 40 minutes. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna. Oh wow, no 401k. Wow. Okay. Then you need you seriously. Do you have an IRA account? If you don't have an IRA account, you don't have 401k. Mercedes. Okay, like you need to get started ASAP. You definitely need to. Um, maybe do you guys have pension? That'd be my next question. If you have pension, okay, spurs for educators. Okay, so you got pension, but still, pension means that you're hoping that they're gonna give you that money. Um, okay, district matches. Okay, so that's not. At least there's something there, but at the same time, you want to have something that you are in total control, and so yeah, you need to do something. You need to set up some of those accounts and start putting some money there. You need to. Yeah. Exactly. Yes, because that would be you in charge. You can rely on what you have in your hand as opposed to what now the promising they'll give you once you retire. Because all it takes is I don't know how it works, but if should anything happen with that district, some mismanagement and stuff like that, they usually they have insurance, but again, you have to struggle and wait until they go through the court and figure out everything before they can get you your money. Um, and you don't want that, but at least you know put something on the side that you can rely on, and make sure that you're covered if anything were to happen. So yeah, no, definitely do some research and start putting money aside for for retirement and something that you are in charge, you have control over. I think that's important. So yeah, no, but again, wow, school teachers, man, like that is awesome. And I go to these high schools and teach kids personal finance. Believe me, I respect you guys. Wow, you guys do you guys do a heck of a job. Yeah, and for some reason, I don't understand how teachers don't make a whole lot of money. Yeah, because you have people here doing nothing, but they make a lot of money, and teachers that are generating the next generation of kids, and they don't make enough money. Yeah, I sometimes I can't even fathom that whole situation, but I have tremendous amount of respect for teachers. So I appreciate you. To me, that's a service, and I appreciate your service a lot. Wow. Wow. Thank you. I'm an aide preschool special. Oh wow. So Jeez, thank you for. I mean, I don't even know how to say this, man. Like you, that is the point where you look back and be like, yeah, the people that are doing the things that matters, the things that impact our society, they're not getting the recognition that they're supposed to, and it just, I don't. I mean, excuse my language here, but it's just a messed up set up. It's not set up, to really help the teachers. L- unless you really love what you do. I mean, there's really no incentive. It's, yeah, it's not really a good setup. So thank you for your wonderful work, and I just continue to do the good work. Appreciate it. And yeah, and if, like, again, if you just join us, we've been talking about paying for college tuition. Should you or should you not? And if you don't, w- how do you view people that say they don't want to pay for their kids' college tuition? Yeah. So yeah, if you watching this later, because I'm gonna post this on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this later and you have any comments, please leave them there, and I'll definitely make sure to respond. And I just want to hear different takes and how you guys view this stuff. You're welcome. And I mean, like I said, any way I can help. Um, and and this is the part where, for me, we've actually gone through this. Me and my wife, we've paid off our debt, and in that process, we're paying off and investing, and we're lucky enough that we have a 401k at work. But again, I still don't really trust that system. So we're doing everything in our power to put extra money on the side and invest it so that we have full control over it. So yeah, and I'm just sharing, the experience that we were going through and what's working for us. So, and yeah, so if you have any questions or you need any advice, just leave me a comment below. And definitely, if you even want to do it offline, I can definitely kind of give you some tips offline too. Just share with you what we do here at home to prepare for retirement. So yeah, I appreciate you guys joining us today. It's been a wonderful time. It's been fun. Um, I'm surprised this is almost a 50-minute live stream, which is kind of cool. But yeah, if you're watching this later, please let me know what you think about, should you or should you not pay for your kids' college tuition. All right, Mercedes, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. It's been fun, and so yeah. If you have any other questions regarding, and like I mentioned, I don't know if you were listening because it looks like you went offline for a little bit. Let me know in the comment section. Just me a message, or you can send me a direct message too. If you want to take it offline, you can send me a direct message. I can walk you through what we do, and hopefully that can give you some starting point. Like don't procrastinate. Get started ASAP. So, all right. And as always, guys, keep crushing that debt, and we'll talk soon.